ভাই আমি এখন একটা প্রোগ্রামে আছি, একটু পরে ফোন দিচ্ছি আপনাকে।
We will take a minute for our audience to join us. Shuman Ariful Biplab, 3 names, 3 young men, 3 members of Bangladesh Student League who went to a peaceful gathering on June 22nd, 2026 to mark their party's founding anniversary. They did not threaten anyone. They did not vandalize anything. They marched. And then they disappeared. Their partially decomposed bodies were recovered from the Turag River on June 24th. The Awami League says their bodies bore clear signs of torture. 4 more Bangladeshi Student League members from the same gathering are still missing tonight. Their names are being withheld for security reasons, because naming them might get the rest of their families killed. Let me say that again. 4 human beings are missing. Their families cannot even speak their names publicly, because speaking the name of a Bangladeshi Student League member in Bangladesh in 2026 is enough to put a family in danger. And then there is Pranto. Mirza Istiak Ahmed Pranto, 27 years old, a Bangladeshi Student League activist from Madhukhali in Faridpur. A law college student, he was detained by the detective branch of police on the night of June 20th. He was beaten in front of his mother at the moment of his arrest. When his mother tried to intervene, she was mistreated. He was taken to an undisclosed location. The next morning, he was dead. His mother Khadija Akhtar said words that I want every person watching this to hear. For what crimes was my healthy, innocent son taken, tortured, and killed in DB custody? DB is a branch of Bangladesh Police, the detective branch. I seek justice for this murder. I say it again for you to hear. For what crime was my healthy, innocent son taken, tortured, and killed in detective branch custody? I seek justice for this murder. A mother is standing over her son's body, asking a question that the state of Bangladesh has no interest in answering. Tonight's show, joining me, Saddam Hussein, President of Bangladesh Student League, Barrister Taposh Kanti Bol, a human rights lawyer, and Anwar Sadat Jihan, a columnist and an aerospace engineer. Jihan, could you please take us through this a little more?
Thank you, Tomai Bhai. Special thanks to Mr. Hussein and Barrister Ball for joining us today. Today's presentation is going to be very brief. I will go over some incidents that will paint an overall picture of what is unfolding against the Bangladesh Student League. So let me start with the custodial deaths, because the extrajudicial killings that started under the Yunus administration continues till this very day. And in the name of a democratic legitimacy, BNP government is continuing the very same thing. So Istiak Ahmed Pranto, a 27-year-old Chhatro League activist in Faridpur, was taken into custody and was beaten in front of his mother prior to his arrest. And he was also beaten while he was in custody. Next morning, he was found dead. And the police claimed that he suffered a stroke. Now, Mr. Alam, it is the kind of stroke that we have seen during the BNP government in 2001-2006 period. During the so-called Operation Searchlight, people used to have this heart attack and suddenly was ending up dead. And it is the same thing that is happening in this present Bangladesh. And after he died, a narcotics case was filed against him after his death, against his dead body. This is the kind of barbarism Bangladesh Student League is facing today. And then there is the Turag River case. Prominent outlet like BBC News has reported on this, while the Bangladesh police continues to deny the claim. Multiple Student League activists, completely on their own, went to celebrate the birthday of Bangladesh Awami League, and they went to a procession where they did not attack the public property or the public lives, but BNP goons kidnapped them, tortured them, killed them, and then dumped their body in Turag River. The Turag River has become the same Turag River of 1971, when dead bodies were found. And today, our brothers from the student leagues, their dead bodies are being found on the Turag River. Mr. Sojiv Wajet-Joy, the advisor to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, posted about an allegation of a cover-up by the BNP government and its law enforcement agencies. And then there is Fuad Hasnat. We all know that student league activists, they don't only participate in politics, but they also participate in social welfare. We have seen that during the COVID era, when the family members would be scared of performing the final rite, there were the student league members. And similarly today, during the harvest program, when there are not enough people, there are the student league members helping them. And I express my gratitude to them for that. But Fuad Hasnat was then picked up, attacked by sharp weapons. Not only Fuad Hasnat was attacked, his younger sister was attacked as well. And we all know even terrorist group like Al-Qaeda does not target the family members, but these BNP goons continue to target the family members of student league members today. And these are not isolated, these are part of patterns. The pattern that we have started seeing from 2024, 124 plus mob killings, 40 plus custodial deaths, of which 12 are directly BSL activists. I'm sure that Mr. Hussain will have updated stats on that. And always when I talk about the student leagues, I like to bring up Masood from Rajshahi. Masood, who was killed, a guy who did not have a leg, who lost his leg previously, who went to buy medicine for his newborn. He was killed by mob in front of police. And the situation of student league is still the same under this BNP government. Now, we are not seeking any revenge because it is not who we are. We are seeking an international observation, independent investigation. We want to hold the BNP government accountable. We demand justice, no revenge. Back to you, Honorable.
Thank you, Jihan. Saddam, the Turag killings happened just a couple of weeks ago. Shumon Ariful Biplov, activists of your organization, went to a peaceful gathering and were murdered. Their bodies were recovered from a river bearing signs of torture. 4 more are still missing, and you are leading the organization from exile. What can you tell us about these 7 people, and what does it mean to receive news like this from a hiding place?
It is a perfect example of Bangladesh becoming a fascist state, a mafia state, or a sort of criminal gang state. And that Turag incident, Turag killing isn't just a ordinary event. It was planned, it was executed by the government organs, and it was facilitated, performed by the government political party. If you neutrally evaluate the whole events, the patterns and how the persecution had been done, there in our anniversary program of Bangladesh Awami League, the party leaders, they participated in a procession actually in a procession which demanded democracy, justice, which demands inclusiveness in our society. That is totally peaceful. It is declared by Awami League. It is official. It is public, and the people were just chanting slogans and just leading the rally. And the main, at first, it was the procession was done in Turag Thana, and more than 60 activists actually participated in the procession. And there, at the time of the procession, they were initially attacked by BNP activists and also the police. Police in uniform, police without uniform. Everyone is involved. They attacked, they assaulted, and just for security, they left the place and they took a trawler so that they can go somewhere safe place. And they went to Ashulia Ghar, And at that time, that this is not, it is not happened accidentally. This is planned. And if we go through the news of BBC, Daily Star, Pratham Alo, and other newspapers, you can see it clearly that who attacked first in Turag, they initially called the BNP leaders, MPs, and also they called in Ashulia Thana. And they planned it. They decided it previously that they will attack the Awami League activists, Bangladesh Students League activists, and there were. It is actually predetermined that they would ultimately trade their lives. So when the trawler went to Ashulia Ghat, they were ready before the arrival of the trawler. And suddenly they attacked, and that you have already mentioned our fellow activists, Ariful, Shuman, Biplov, who are chanting slogans for democracy, justice, who are chanting slogans for constitutional rights. They become dead body within a short period of time. And not only that, that they were arrested. 7 other activists were arrested. 4 other activists are still missing. We still not know about what about the conditions. So this is the scenario. This is and the state is responsible, the police is responsible, and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party cadres, they are fully responsible. And it is actually that the facilitated. It is actually encouraged by the Prime Minister itself, because killing Awami League leaders is become a new normal in Bangladesh. If you participate in a political procession, which is your constitutional right, in the era of BNP government, it became a criminal offense. So that if you have any sort of dissent, there is a death sentence. That predetermined death sentence for you by the government. Actually, this is a total mobocracy. This is total fascism. And if you go through if you evaluate the situation after the events, that after 7 citizens were missing, and police did not take initiative to at least to get the dead body to give it to their family. That the relatives, the Arif, Shuman's, Diplov's parents, their relatives, they went to the river. They tried to have the dead body. They did their best. They tried to take this to the police, but police actually didn't help them because they are actually the killer with the other BNP leaders, and they threatened. And we got news from neutral side that DZFI and other organizations played a vital role so that the family can be neutralized. The family will be totally. They will not raise their voice. They will not go to the police. They will not say anything to the journalists. This became nothing. It looks like that, and the family were threatened by every organ of the state, every other political cadres of the BNP, and in the situation was such that even the memory of her deceased son, Arif or Shuman Biplovs, they tried to erase their memories so that police would not disturb them. They erased from mobile phone. There were photos of Arif, Shuman, and Biplovs in their home. They took it outside so that that they were totally they're so much threat, so they do not have any options. And the missing people, there are still no news from any neutral source, from whether it is from police or other organizations. And after the incident, we came to look that police said, and they are shifting the blame to the disease itself. They are saying that this is false information, this is misinformation, this is political propaganda. This is how the situation is. And after the investigative journalism by BBC and some other news sources, it became clear to the country that how these things are happened. And this is not accidental. In the last 17 months, there are incidents of 460 killings, more than 460 killings actually by mob violence, and most of them are political activists affiliated with Bangladesh Awami League. There were incidents of prison custody death according to Ain and Ainosh Shalish Kendro. They said that 211 people were killed actually in the prison. And the river in Bangladesh currently became the dumping station for the dead bodies actually. In the last months of June, more than 69 dead bodies were recovered from the rivers. So and in the last 2 years, it is about almost 800 dead bodies recovered from the river. So this is actually a structural killing, and this is actually instructed by the chief of the government, and
threaten the members of Bangladesh Student League, because we know that Bangladesh Student League members are the defenders of democracy and secularism in Bangladesh. And right now, Bangladesh has right-wing and hard-right Islamist government. So is it a means of threatening the Bangladesh Student League members?
Yeah, obviously, there are political goals behind this. Because that this government is not legitimate actually. This government is not constitutional. They do not have any sort of people's mandate. And that's why that just for securing their illegal power, they are using threat as a political means, and they are trying to stop every voices that can have a opposition voice, who said something for justice, democracy. They try to just shut it. So this became a common pattern actually. And though the situation is this, but Bangladesh Students League activists, they're fearless. They're trying to come back. They're trying to have their voices. They're trying to they're trying to go to the people, trying to build opinion among the people. Because we have no other options other than continuous struggle. Because we know that if we couldn't achieve democracy in Bangladesh, the life of the citizens of Bangladesh are not secured. So whatever the situation is, whatever it takes, we'll fight back. We'll fight back to restore democracy, for the security of the people's life, because we are not fighting for just our survival. We are fighting for the survival of the people, so that every people have a decent life, every people have security of their life, every people get their constitutional rights. That's what we are fighting for. And Bangladesh Students League will continue this struggle.
Thank you, Saddam. Before I come to the custodial death of Pranto, Barrister Ball, I have a question for you, and please briefly, that let's say, for an argument's sake, the ban on Bangladesh Awami League, let's say it's legitimate, let's say it's constitutional. However, is it a right to protest that legitimate decision? Is it a constitutional right?
Yes, this is
Constitutional.
right. This is not only a constitutional right. You know that Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and then ICCPR is also there. So it is a inalienable. It is called inalienable civil and political right of every single human being of the world, that if you are supporting or following a political party or even an ideology, then no state can hamper your right. And for example, even if it is legitimate, because you know that freedom of association and freedom of expression are not unconditional rights. There are two conditions where you can put reasonable limitation in the enjoyment of these two rights. One is public health and another one is public security. Only on these two grounds you can control the enjoyment of these two freedoms. But this control has to be reasonable, it has to be proportionate, and if you cannot establish that it was reasonable and it was proportionate, then definitely this is illegal. And even if it is banned legally, every single follower and activist has the legal right to protest that decision. They can go to the streets.
Just another supplementary question.
Right.
That the reasonable restriction that was handed over to the government by the founder of our constitutions,
Right.
In good faith, to make sure the rights of the citizens are not countermanded, isn't it?
It is. But as I said, that these two freedoms you can only curtail in a very, very extreme situation. Let me give you an example. Like in Bangladesh, we all know that on 2nd of June, Jamaat-e-Islami was banned as a political party. Why Jamaat-e-Islam was banned on 2nd of June 2024? 2nd of August 2024. Why not they were banned earlier? Right? Because till that time, the government waited to get the information that these particular political party has turned into a terrorist outfit, and they have become a threat to innocent people in Bangladesh. And not only they are killing innocent people or using them as a tool of to put or fight the government forces. They have built a network within the country so that the sovereignty of the country can be challenged. In that situation, that Jamaat-e-Islami was banned, and the government provided explanation that why that decision was reasonable and why it was proportionate. But what we see against
now in the question of Pranto,
right? What is
the question of Pranto? He was 27, a young man, beaten in front of his mother first, then dead in the custody of police, detective branch of Bangladesh Police, within hours. The police said brain stroke. The mother said torture. Video footage showed him being humiliated on the street before he was taken. Even local BNP leaders called it murder. From a legal standpoint, what are the state's obligation and was it met?
as I said, that Bangladesh during the period of Awami League signed a lot of international conventions. Not only, and they were members of ICCPR, signatories of ICCPR, ICSCR, and everything. And after that, Awami League started periodical to participate in the periodic reviews before the United Nations. As a part of it, you remember that Bangladesh has this law which that if any person is tortured and killed in police custody, then it will be considered as a crime, and the police is bound to investigate those situations. Now, not only that law, we are seeing that is not enforced, because it is clear from the video and the testimony of the mother of Pranto that Pranto was killed by the police while he was in their custody. Look into these two terms I'm using, that he was killed while he was in the police custody and he was killed by the police. There is no denial about that. You have to admit that at first. And that's why police has invented this story that he is killed due to brain stroke. So when a person is dead under police custody, then you must investigate. This investigation process, not only by police, but all other forces must do that investigation. In Bangladesh, we have Human Rights Commission, right? Even that it is the duty of the Human Rights Commission to get an independent investigation so that they can put the truth in front of the people. None of this happened in Pranto's case. So when you ask that what are the state's obligations, the state's first obligation is to admit that yes, this person was dead under the police custody, then investigate, and they have to put every single document, for example, autopsy report, the narrative of what happened from the point of he being arrested by the police and when he was dead. Everything has to be in front of the people. Otherwise, the state will fail not only to comply the constitutional rights, but also the police will fail to comply the international obligations it has under the international human rights law.
Basketball, you're muted.
No, it's back to you. It's done from my side.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Basketball. So, Shumon, Ariful, Biplab, and Pranto, these are just recent cases. However, we know that when it comes to the murder of Bangladesh Student League members and the Awami League members, it has been going on for past 17 months. Okay, so the death toll is nearly 1,000 now. Even the UN Human Rights report, which was published last year, as controversial as it was, it showed a massive amount of killing of Awami League members, even on that report. And Saddam, you are carrying this burden. You are the leader of Bangladesh Student League. And how do you feel? How many more, and how do you carry the weight? How do you carry this weight of this, the members of your organization are killed?
It is actually hard to express what is the situation in Bangladesh right now. Every day there is, it looks like we are watching a horror cinema, horror live cinema in every moment actually. No one's life is safe and everyone can be attacked. Suddenly, one of our fellow activists' memories can be just a part of the past. So this is the whole situation. And not only our activists, their families are being continuously targeted. Their life is threatened. Their educational right is totally curtailed. Their political rights is suppressed. So, the situation is very much challenging for us. And we have, as a political worker, we are also feeling responsible because we have to make it happen that the country will be a democratic one, country will be safe one. We are not just working for the securing our lives. We have greater responsibility for the future generation. And what we see in Bangladesh, a political party can be out of power. A political party can be in the opposition. They can play a constructive role even in opposition. But what we currently see in Bangladesh, that Awami League is banned illegally, Bangladesh Students League is banned illegally, and the government organizations they are using every state organs, even the army, they are using national army to eliminate Awami League from the society, from the state. They are doing their whatever they can. And they're suppressing every moment. And you have mentioned the case of Ishtiaq Ahmed Pranto, a BSL activist and also a law student of Faridpur Law College. He was suddenly picked up. That there was no event of, there was no accusation, there was no case actually. There was no, no other things related with the event. Suddenly he got he picked up by the detective branch from his home, and when he is not only a student activist, he is also doing part-time job in the local Faridpur. He worked there, and he's he's taking the responsibility of the family. And he was in home actually, and he picked up by detective branch, and after a few hours he became a dead body, and he had to pay the price just for being an activist of Bangladesh Awami League, just for being an activist of Bangladesh Students League. And there are many more events like this, and when powerful can kill you just for their political vendetta, even when you are in custody, it is not just a personal loss. It means that no citizen is safe in Bangladesh. Their life is threatened every time. And these horrific events. We are hearing this sort of news, the loss of lives, brutality, many events of torture. This becomes everyday routine in Bangladesh, and people are trying to raise their voices, though the government is trying its best to suppress the voice of the people. But I think people are rising day by day. And Bangladesh Students League, we are trying to organize ourselves. There are losses, but we are trying to come back. And not only threat to life, our right to education is totally curtailed during Yunus regime and during the current regime. More than 500,000 students' right to education is totally collapsed. More than 15,000 students' certificate has been cancelled, or they came through different sort of punishment. The academic freedom in educational, there is no academic freedom in educational institutions currently. And I saw the news about the participation of HSC examination, and that more than 500,000, 5 lakh students are not participating in the HSC exam. It means 36% who are registered as a HSC student in 2024. After 2 years, 36% of the students are not participating in the exam, and this is the current scenario in Bangladesh. So I think the political struggle it should continue, and also the international organizations, human rights organizations, other countries, embassies, I think they should raise their voices so that independent investigation can be done in the cases of custodial deaths, extrajudicial killings, mob violence, and also giving pressure to this undemocratic government about lifting the ban on the Awami League, because they are challenging a political party not by political means. They are challenging a political party not by the support of the people. They are challenging a political party by a repressive law, anti-terrorist law. They are they're using this law against a political party, which is the largest political party in our country. So I think the main problem here is political. The main matter is that the restoring the constitutional politics. It is the main thing. Without recovering it, without restoring it, I think the more blood will flow in the Turag River and in the streets or in any place. They chanted many things. They promised many things. They sometimes talked about new Bangladesh, about reformation. But what we are watching all the time is new graves, new repression, new persecution, and more numbers.
And the country which is almost bankrupt, people losing their jobs by thousands every month. Poor people cannot have 3 meals a day these days. Saddam, I have another. It's not a question actually. I would like to know. I'm very curious. Over the past few years, at least over the past 10 years, it's based on social media. I have been seeing, or I have seen many charity organizations by young people. They are feeding the poor. They are working with the street children, giving them clothes, sometimes organizing schools for them. They're supporting the migrant workers, elderly people, blood donation camps, helping people collect blood. So many. And many of them reached out to me, and I have been donating to them for like over many years. What happened in the last 17 months? I didn't realize it at the beginning, but after a year or so, I realized none of these people are coming to me asking for donations for their good work, for the good work they do. So I reached out to a few of them and found out these are the members of Bangladesh Student League. And they said they cannot even get out of their home. Doing the good thing, doing charity is beyond question. How do you see it, Saddam, that these people, they were doing good things, charity, and they would be the BNP thugs and Jamaat Islam thugs or the law enforcement agencies will even, torture them for doing charitable acts, charitable stuff. How do you see this?
There is a ecosystem of fear in Bangladesh, and the social fabric in our country is totally collapsed. So it played a vital role about what you were saying, that the decreasing situation of charitable works. And as Awami League, as the largest, oldest political party, that besides doing political activities, most of the political parties are involved in this sort of charity activities. They are involved with clubs, different sort of organizations. They did many sort of things. They're involved in charitable works. So the absence of Awami League, the absence of democracy, played a vital role for this. and this is one reason. And another reason is everyone, no one is feeling safe, and whenever you are doing something independently, whenever you are doing something neutrally. Previously, when Awami League was in power, the situation was friendly. The situation, there was safety, there was security. If you are obeying the law and doing your charitable jobs, you can do whatever you want as a citizen. But right now, if you are not affiliated with BNP and Jamaat, there is no right of yours actually. Your lifestyle is compromised. Your profession is compromised. So this played a vital role in these cases, and also the economic situation in Bangladesh that is devastating currently. You have already mentioned the job sector, the current condition of our industries. So the flow of money is also a problem in our country, and as there is no foreign direct investment, and also there is no internal investment in Bangladesh, there is no chance of economic recovery in the near future also. And charitable organizations mostly depended on this. So I think from my point of view, this is also a great reason for this. And the party who is in power, and they're they are not a responsible political party. They are not a responsible government. So their priority also, they are also not facilitating the charitable works, be it by the government or be it by the
extortion. Actually,
they are involved in the sort of things.
Yeah, BNP, even it has been reported that BNP leaders, the Minister of Parliament, ministers, parliamentarians, they are saying, okay, do your extortion in innovative way.
Yeah.
We have seen that. Okay, well, Awami League and Bangladesh Student League facilitate charity. Bangladeshi farming sector, migrants, workers, street children, they totally relies on Bangladesh Student League members. Or okay, we have to say that the media cell of Bangladesh Awami League has never been strong. It was never, that propagated to people as it should be. Anyway, Barrister Taposh, the Turag killing happened on June 22nd. By June 27th, police headquarters had issued a press release calling all reports baseless, despite 3 bodies already have been recovered 3 days earlier. Military intelligence was allegedly contacting families to pressure them into calling the deaths accidental. From a constitutional and legal standpoint, what does this level of institutional coordination in a cover-up mean for the rule of law in Bangladesh?
This cover-up, first of all, shows that there is no rule of law right now in Bangladesh. There is no natural justice. It's if you look into the way it has become institutionalized, the only thing you can say that the culture of impunity is prevailing right now in Bangladesh. Now, there is a difference between rule of law and culture of impunity. What is rule of law? Rule of law means that if a wrong is done against you, and whoever has done the wrong against you, be it a state, be it a private person, and if you are a victim, then every single person has the equal right under the Constitution of Bangladesh to present your case before the court or before the investigation team, be it police or DB, detective branch, or Central Intelligence Department, RAB investigation, whatever it is. But you have, under the Constitution of Bangladesh and under CRPC, we call it CRPC, and then the police regulations of Bengal, under these 3 laws, and Constitution being the supreme law, it is clearly said that whoever you are, irrespective of your identity, your political identity, your gender, or your sex, or district, or religion, whatever it is, you have to be treated by the state equally. The state cannot suppress the reality regarding you just because of your political, religious, or any other identity. So this is quite clear that rule of law is violated in Bangladesh. There is no natural justice as well. That being said, that you cannot go to any institutional body of the state and demand that my brother, my son, my daughter is being killed, is being tortured. So we want justice. We want a proper investigation. That you cannot demand. Even, you know, why media is called the fourth pillar in every country or worldwide, because what the institutions of the government cannot say, the media will say in front of the people of the country. Unfortunately, the media in Bangladesh is quite gagged at this moment. There is no freedom of expression. So whatever media want to present, that is filtered by the state agencies. For example, look at this incident of Turag, right? We all know that these 7 supporters of Bangladesh Chhatra League is being arrested and then being killed, and then their bodies were thrown in the Turag. But the news came out.
It was not an arrest, actually, it was an attempt to arrest them.
Right. Okay.
And they were tortured there.
Right.
And
then when they were dead, their body was thrown to the Turag, right? So who tortured them? That if the state has the duty to find out who tortured them, who apprehended them. These are the things we have the right to know. So when they were killed, you see, none of the newspapers or media houses at first were ready to even inform the people about this incident. Why they were not ready? Because they were gagged, controlled by the DGFI, by the NSI and other government institutions. So we came to know about this incident after 3-4 days. So and then there is this cover-up that the police said that their version has to be circulated. So police's version is that this is not, these killings or dead founding of these bodies in the Turag is not connected incident. It is individual incidents. So they said that yes, bodies are found, but these bodies are found for different incidents. They have no connection for their political ideology or identity. So this is getting momentum in Bangladesh because it is being pushed into the media by DGFI and NSI. So that's why, and you cannot in Bangladesh at this moment, you cannot challenge this version. Is there anyone in Bangladesh who can go to the media, even their parents? They cannot go before the media and say or claim that, okay, this is the version you are playing over and over again, but this is not the right version. The right version is that they are being apprehended and they are being killed and after torture, and we want to know who are the persons who apprehended and who killed them. So if they cannot know the truth, that clearly shows that there is no rule of law. Since none of the persons who we have seen that may have connection with these incidents, they are not being named, they are not being interrogated or investigated by the law enforcing agencies. So that means that there is impunity, and we have seen that this culture of impunity is prevailing since 5th of August 2024. If you are targeting any person or their families or their business institutions for their political ideology, for their political connection with Bangladesh Awami League, Chhatra League, Jubo League, Mohila League, Shramik League, or Krishak League, then you will not be tried. You will not be asked questions. Rather, you will be remunerated. How you will be remunerated? You will get promotions in the police force. You will get promotions in Bangladesh Army, and your newspaper, your television channel will receive government advertisements because you supported the government's cause to suppress all the wrongdoings. Not only that, you will see that even those teachers or even the student leaders of Shibir and Chhatradal who are helping the government and the institutions to suppress all these incidents, they are getting benefited, they are getting rewarded. So it is a very horrific situation. The way Saddam said, I agree completely. At times, it seems like a horror film. At times, it seems like a chaotic film or a chaotic situation in Bangladesh where none of the people are enjoying the inalienable rights of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. You have no right to life. You have no right to be treated equally and equitably, and there is no rule of law and natural justice in Bangladesh. So, and at the end, your freedom of expression and freedom of association is being curtailed unnecessarily. As I said, you cannot curtail them without reason, and it has to be proportionate. None of them qualifies. And in spite of that, let me tell you one thing, that right now there is every body. I mean, this ICCPR, they have specialized bodies for every single article of the ICCPR. Right now, the freedom of association of this ICCPR, which is Article 21. So this Article 21 body, they are circulating a draft opinion. So even if you read the draft opinion, you will see that it is clearly mentioned over there. Even if a political party or a group, even if their activities are banned under the law reasonably, as you said, even if they're reasonably banned, that does not give the state or its institution any sort of permission to arrest, apprehend, torture, kill any of its members or followers or supporters, even if they support online, even if they support on the streets, even if they do some sort of seminar, webinar supporting their causes. The state cannot do that because the state has the ultimate duty to protect every single person and their rights. Thank you, Tonoy bhai.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. To Saddam, that that you are definitely in contact with the members of your organization, in close contact, and I know the entirety of Bangladesh Student League is mourning, and we are mourning too. The entire country is mourning these days. How is the moral situation, moral fiber of Bangladesh Student League members right now? Are they afraid, or they're ready to fight back to defend the rights guaranteed to them by the Constitution of Bangladesh, the very Constitution that was, how I'm going to say it, okay, the Constitution of Bangladesh, actually we did it, it's not an acquired. We actually fought for it, and owned by the bloods of the members of Bangladesh Student League. So are they ready to fight back for the rights and to give people the democracy and democratic rights? That's which is a commitment of Bangladesh Student League to Bangladeshi people.
Yeah, that Turag is not only hiding bodies, it is actually exposing the conscience of those who rule now. It is actually unmasking the current regime and what is their true character is. They're totally dictatorship, wearing the marks of reform and some other, and they are just lecturing about democracy, dignity, and some other things, and doing the opposite. But the moral strength of our political activists is high because they are uncompromising, they are strong, they believe in coming back again, they believe in that the winning back, and they believe in the power of the people. So our political activists, maybe there are many events which is horrific, but our activists, they are dreaming about the future for making a secure Bangladesh, a democratic Bangladesh. The current regime, they can ban our political party, they can arrest our political leaders, they can torture in the custody, in the streets, or wherever. But the idea of Bangladesh Awami League, the idea of Bangladesh Student League, it is alive even in every drop of blood in Turag. So I think Bangladesh Students League as a historic, modern, and energetic political student organization
Saddam online. I think Saddam having some internet connection problem.
and
Yeah, he's back.
we believe that on the basis of continuous struggle and our advocacy for justice, democracy, constitutional rights, it will come back again in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh Students League will play the most important role in the ongoing struggle. And that there are personal losses in every activist's lives, but our organizers, they are prioritizing the need of the time. They are trying to fulfilling the dreams of the people. They are trying to materializing the ideals of our organization. So personal loss, there are sorrow in there, but this sort of torture, this sort of attacks, this sort of threat, it's actually made us more stronger. It actually made us thought that who we really are, and what we have to do. So I think day by day, Bangladesh Students League is becoming more stronger, and they will be the catalyst in the upcoming events of Bangladesh politics, and they will ensure it that the people will win ultimately.
Thank you so much, Saddam. Shumbon, Ariful, Biplab, Pranto, Abdullah Masood, Isa Ali Khan Panna. There are many more names. So say those names that are from your locality, from your city, from your town. Write them down, because the state of Bangladesh is working very hard to make sure those names disappear. Bodies dumped in rivers, cases filed against corpses, military intelligence calling families to tell them that their sons died accidentally, police headquarters calling recovered bodies baseless. A government that has to work this hard to erase the evidence of what is doing knows exactly what it is doing. That is not chaos. That is calculation. And calculations has authors. Authors have names, and names eventually face accountability. That is a promise of Bangladesh Awami League and Bangladesh Student League, that those perpetrators will be held accountable. Thank you, Saddam Hussein, Barrister Taposh Kanti Bol, for being with us tonight. Thank you to my co-host Anwar Shadat Jihan for that devastating and necessary presentation. And to Saddam, you are one of the best student leaders Bangladesh has ever seen. We see you, we hear you, and we wish you come home safe very soon. As long as there is Bangladesh Student League and the members of Bangladesh Student League, Bangladesh has home. We'll say goodbye tonight for this evening. We'll see you next Sunday, same time, for another episode. We'll tell stories of some more persecution that is happening in Bangladesh under Bangladesh Nationalist Party's government. Thank you very much.